I want you to picture two people who work in the same building. Same floor, same department. They park next to each other every single morning. The first guy pulls up in a 2019 Honda Accord. Small dent on the rear bumper, slightly faded paint. His coworkers feel a little sorry for him. They assume he is struggling. They assume life has not quite worked out the way he planned. What nobody in that building knows is that this man has $1.8 million sitting in an investment account. His home is completely paid off. He has no debt. Not a single dollar of debt anywhere in his life. He could walk into his boss's office this afternoon, slide his badge across the desk, and never think about that job again for the rest of his life. Now the second guy, he pulls up every morning in a leased Mercedes, immaculate, silver, the kind of car that makes people in the parking lot look twice. Everyone in the office assumes he has figured something out, that he is ahead, that he is winning. His bank account tells a completely different story. He has $412 in checking. His credit card balance is at $22,000, and he has been paying the minimum for 3 years. He is 61 days away from being unable to cover his rent if anything unexpected happens. One man looks like he is winning, the other man actually is, and they are not the same person. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how this happens. I'm going to show you the specific decisions, the specific numbers, and the specific trap that keeps hardworking people looking successful while quietly falling behind. And I'm going to show you the way out. My name is Ben. This is Hidden Wealth. And what you are about to learn is the most important financial conversation nobody ever had with you. Let us start with something simple that most people have completely backwards. There are two kinds of money in your life. There is visible money and there is invisible money. Visible money is what people can see. The car you drive, the neighborhood you live in, the clothes you wear, the restaurants you post from. Visible money is the money you spend to show the world that you have money. Invisible money is everything else. The account nobody knows about, the investments growing quietly in the background, the freedom being built 1 month at a time behind a lifestyle that does not announce itself. Here is the painful truth. Most people in America are spending almost everything they earn on visible money. And they are doing it because every single system around them was designed to make that feel normal. The advertising industry, the social media algorithm, the dealership that wants you thinking about monthly payments instead of total cost. The culture that taught you before you were old enough to question it that success has a look, and if you do not have that look, you have not arrived yet. But here is what the data actually shows. The people with the most invisible money almost never look like it. A study that spent years tracking how real wealth accumulates in America found that the majority of millionaires in this country drive ordinary cars, live in modest homes, and would not stand out in any room they walked into. They are invisible on purpose, not because they cannot afford to be visible, because they understand something that most people never figure out. Every dollar you spend making your life look successful is a dollar that cannot become actually successful. Every single one. There is no such thing as spending money on your image and also keeping that money. You have to choose. And most people choose the image without ever realizing they made the choice. Let me show you exactly what that choice costs, because I do not want this to be abstract. I want you to feel the real number. 2 guys. Call them Ryan and Marcus. Same age, 26. Same job, same salary, $65,000 a year. They start on the same day, at the same company. Ryan does what feels natural, what feels like the right reward for finally having a real income. He leases a new car, nice one. His payment is $580 a month. Add insurance on a new leased vehicle, another $160. He moves into an apartment in the neighborhood that feels like where someone at his level should live. His rent is $300 more per month than a perfectly good apartment 10 minutes away. He buys the brands that signal that he is doing well. He goes to the restaurants where people like him go. Every month, almost everything that comes in goes right back out. His visible life looks exactly right. His invisible life is completely empty. Marcus makes one decision that looks slightly strange from the outside. Marcus decides that for the next 3 years, nobody is going to be able to tell, from looking at his life, that he got a raise. He drives the reliable used car he already owns. He takes the apartment that is slightly less impressive but perfectly comfortable. He does not buy the brands. He does not perform the lifestyle. And every month, he takes $500, just $500, and puts it into a simple index fund that tracks the American stock market. He does not think about it. He does not check it every day. He just lets it run. Now let us jump forward. At 36, 10 years in, Ryan has a beautiful collection of expired leases and a savings account with less than $3,000. He makes more money now than he did at 26, but he also spends more. The lifestyle expanded every time the income did. He is comfortable. He looks like he is doing well. And he is completely financially trapped. He cannot leave his job even though he has wanted to for 2 years. He cannot negotiate hard for a better salary because he needs every paycheck to land on time. He cannot take a risk on something he actually cares about because his monthly obligations do not give him that option. At 36, Marcus quietly checks his investment account. The $500 a month he has been putting in for 10 years has grown to just over $103,000. He did not earn more than Ryan. He did not take any big risks. He did not find some secret strategy. He just refused to spend money performing success and put the difference somewhere it could grow. $103,000 is not retire tomorrow money. But it is I have options money. It is I can negotiate from a position of strength money. It is I can take 6 months and try something different if I want to money. It is the beginning of actual freedom. And Ryan has none of it. Now I want to talk about something that goes deeper than just the math. Because understanding the numbers is not actually the hard part. The hard part is something called the performance trap. From the time you were a child, you were absorbing a story about what success looks like. You saw it in movies. You saw it in music. You saw it in which kids at school had the right things and which ones did not. You saw it in advertising that found you before you were old enough to have a single independent thought about money. That story says this: if you have made it, it should be visible. If people cannot tell by looking at you that you are doing well, then you are not doing well enough yet. That story is not true. But it is so deep and so old inside most of us that it does not feel like a story. It feels like reality. And here's why that matters more than any number I can show you. You cannot save your way out of a belief system you have never questioned. You cannot build invisible wealth while you still believe that invisible wealth is not real wealth. You have to actually change what success means to you before any of the practical stuff sticks. So, I want to ask you one question, and I want you to actually think about it while you keep watching. What would your financial life look like right now if nobody could see it? If there were no parking lot, no Instagram, no coworker who noticed what you drove, no family member who asked how things were going and was really asking whether you were keeping up? If the only person who could evaluate your financial decisions was future you, sitting down 10 years from now looking at the results, what would you do differently starting this month? Think about that. Because the answer to that question is the gap between where you are and where you actually want to be. Now let me give you 3 things you can do right now. Not someday, this week. The first thing is to find your real number. Sit down and calculate exactly how much money you are spending every month on things that serve your image rather than your life. The car payment that is higher than it needs to be, the rent premium for the neighborhood that feels right, the brands, the subscriptions, the habits, add it all up. That total is what I call your performance cost. That is the monthly price you are paying to look like you are winning instead of actually winning. The second thing is to start the invisible account. Open a separate investment account if you do not already have one. Set up an automatic transfer on the day your paycheck hits, before rent, before the car, before anything, even if it is $75. Even if it is $50. The amount is less important than making it automatic so your lifestyle never gets the chance to consume it first. You are paying your future self before you pay everyone else. The third thing is to give yourself a 2-year window. Not forever. Just 2 years of keeping your visible life exactly where it is right now while you let your invisible life start to grow. 2 years from today, you will have data, real numbers, real momentum. And you will understand in a way you cannot fully understand right now why the man in the Honda who everyone felt sorry for is sleeping better than anyone else in that building. The goal has never been to look like you are free. The goal is to actually be free. And those 2 things cost completely different amounts of money and take completely different amounts of time. You have been working hard your whole life. It is time to make the math work as hard as you do. If this video connected with something you have been feeling but could not quite put into words, please hit the like button right now. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who are sitting exactly where you were sitting before you clicked play. Share this with one person you care about who works incredibly hard and still feels stuck. Not because they are doing anything wrong, but because nobody ever showed them this side of the equation. And subscribe to Hidden Wealth because next week I am going to show you the specific numbers behind how ordinary men in ordinary jobs build extraordinary financial lives without anyone around them even knowing it is happening. That video might be the most important one on this channel. I will see you there.